Have you ever questioned where and how to touch an older woman to establish a strong and a memorable relationship for many? Although this may appear to be a mystery, in actuality, there are particular locations on the body of an older woman that, when touched, care and intention can awaken sensations of enchantment and desire and emotional closeness. I'm going to discover 7 crucial areas that can transform an adult lady experiences a mixture of passion and link, abandoning her entirely enthralled with you. But here's the thing. Physical contact isn't the only thing that matters. About being aware of the depth of emotions, sensitivity and deference that accompany. With these motions, picture yourself as the person who knows just how to evoke feelings. She believed they had long since been forgotten, make her feel valued in ways she has never anticipated. Before we get started, I would like to highlight how the initial 2 touches can generate powerful and exciting sensations. Nevertheless, the 5th and last touch is the secret to completely abandoning her, captivated by you. If you're willing to discover these secrets, and be sure to join the Priceless Mind channel by subscribing. If you haven't given it a thumbs up already, press to turn on the alert bell so you don't ever miss our content that transforms. So let's start with the lower back. The lower back appears to be a typical location, but one with a great deal of power. At first look, it can seem straightforward, yet do not undervalue its capacity to express warmth, affection, and security. When you gently put your hand on her, you're providing more than just lower back. You're conversing with just a touch. Deep message, I'm available to you. Imagine that you two are strolling together through a congested area or ascending a stairway where your hand rests naturally on the base of her back. This tiny gesture conveys a powerful message, demonstrates your awareness of her needs, prepared to mentor her and provide silent, stable support. This touch, which exudes assurance and concern without using words, it's a subliminal reminder that you are trustworthy, making something remarkable and one-of-a-kind connection. It's important to maintain the soft and fluid touch should never be used. Consider it if you feel invasive or in control, as a representation of presence and safety, instead of deciding whether you're assisting her and guiding her into a car through a throng or just strolling next to her. This touch should feel like a discreet yet powerful way to show your support and affection. The nape next. Let's discuss the nape, which is one of the most vulnerable and delicate regions on this area of a woman's body is frequently exposed, which makes it ideal for a light and loving touch. Though as it's a delicate area, it needs to be handled with extreme caution and respect. When you gently caress the nape, you're not just creating a sense of intimacy, you're establishing a deeper sentimental. This touch demonstrates that you appreciate the faith she has in you, and it shows that you respect her. Vulnerability. It's an actual intimacy that can evoke shivers and arouse deep sensations. The Lee touch should always be light and subtle, never pressing or forceful. A soft caress with your fingertips is frequently enough to establish a powerful response. This gesture works beautifully amid romantic times, like when you're holding her face while hugging her, or the nape is only standing next to her. A doorway to closeness, and when handled carefully, it can leave her feeling a strong bond with you. The arm. The arm could appear as an unexpected decision, but it truly is a hero when it comes to establishing intimate moments and connection. Suppose you're having a deep, heartfelt talk to her while you lean in to listen or stress a point, your hand spontaneously brushing across her arm. This simple touch can develop a physical link that reflects the depth of your emotions dialogue. The key is to make the touch feel spontaneous and natural. Not about taking hold of her arm, but letting your hand to move in a smooth, supportive manner. The intimacy of this gesture between you shows that you're completely present and actively participating and demonstrating sincere interest in what she must claim that the arm is a flexible place for touch, regardless of whether you're seated at a table, walking or standing next to each other. Combined, a light pat on her arm can express interest, support, and a connection. It transcends words. Take note of. Depending on her reaction, she may lean in, increasing the closeness and intimacy of the moment. The knee. Let's investigate A. The knee is a surprising yet potent place. This area has amazing potential to create a sense of closeness and connection, particularly when intentionally touched. And take a picture of yourself sitting here. Together, maybe viewing a film, or your hand while sipping a glass of wine rests lightly on her knee while you converse. Although it could appear to be a straightforward gesture, it has a deep significance in this light. Touch fosters a feeling of intimacy and comfort, fostering a closer relationship. The secret is to maintain contact between you. Gentle and considerate, concentrating on the emotional bond as opposed to physical exhilaration isn't what exerting force while communicating a reliable presence. The knee is an accessible and perfect location for a sensitive touch, regardless of whether you're in a theater, strolling hand in hand, or just sitting down. When combined, this subtle gesture can produce. She felt Val appreciated and cherished the trash. The trash is a space that can strengthen your bond and communicate love in a potent manner. It's an A-touch, and an incredibly sensitive place can express a variety of emotions. From intimacy and safety to desire with fervor, picture yourself dancing, moving in unison to the beat of the melody when your hand lightly touches her. Waist providing a combination of efficient and this gesture of security exudes a feeling of safety and intimacy, strengthening the relationship between you, but it's important to approach. This touch is given with care and respect. Never let your waist feel like a point of, instead of domination or control, it should offer resolute and hospitable assistance. Whether you're strolling or snapping a picture, cuddling on the couch or together, the waist is a prime example of this kind of interaction. The hands investigate the strength of the hands. Apparently popular option, but one that can turn into incredibly sensual and intimate. When done correctly, picture yourself seated in person, possibly at a cafe or eatery enmeshed in a profound conversation. You reach out and grasp hers, encircling it with a gentle but firm touch. Is a basic gesture that expresses warmth, genuineness, and a strong bond. One that expresses and transcends words. Straight to the heart, it's a quiet but strong communication method, a means of declaring that I'm with you here without the requirement for more complex expressions. When sincere, bridge gaps can be closed. Doubts and foster a trusting environment, and holding hands in closeness is one of the oldest and most natural types of human connection, since our early years connect it to safety instructions, and love. A youngster seeks out a parent's hand for those who enjoy comfort. Entwine your fingers to feel more intimate. When pals are happy, they hold hands, or there is something very sad about it. This small act is comforting, possesses a feeling of inclusion and belonging. Taken care of, understanding that you are not by itself, it demonstrates that you are totally not only physically present, but also actively involved. However, emotionally, in a society that is full with divert, where focus is frequently split between notifications and screens. Despite never-ending to-do lists, a straightforward act of two people can be grounded by hand-holding in the presently. It states that you have my undivided focus. I am here with you, and no one else outside of your presence. Additionally, holding hands provides a feeling of there's a cause for comfort and security. Why individuals automatically grasp for the hand of a loved one in times of fear, ambiguity, or discomfort, a light squeeze can be a silent assurance that you're safe and that I'm here, comforts, calms, and offers a stable anchor during tumultuous times, the warmth of someone else's skin, faint beat of their heart through there. These minor details at your fingertips have a method of reducing anxiety, and swapping it out for a soothing touch should be kind and organic, never coerced or overwhelming. The most significant gestures are fluid, easily without doing any math, or there is a sense of a forced hold. Possessive or uncomfortable, whereas a gentle yet intentional touch can communicate caring, admiration, and tenderness. The way fingers intertwine or rest against each other speaks volumes concerning the nature of the connection, whether it's playful, protective, fervent, or merely loving. If you're seated or strolling together in a park or having a private conversation. Talking while holding hands is still a timeless and consistently alluring gesture, is a delicate finger dance, and palms are a silent means of communication, attraction, and emotional intimacy. It can be an unconscious reflex, a little yet significant movement that binds two people closer together without the need for words. When strolling side by side, a delicate brush of hands before they ultimately meet can cause the excitement of waiting for that first moment, when hesitant but eager fingers can send the skin with an electric charge. It's a reminder of how thrilling link between the unsaid energy that exists between a couple who are attracted to one another. To one another during times of silence, like sitting side by side on a bench in a park or across from one another at a cafe, a slow, methodical grab for the other's hand can produce an environment of, there is a profoundly meaningful, quiet intimacy, individual regarding how hands find each other, other in these circumstances, how they fit in, how they adjust to the contours of each other's hold, how they transmit a silent message of understanding and unity during an intimate conversation. Holding hands serves as an anchor, reinforcing every spoken word with a touch that adds, "I mean this." Importance of the feelings being conveyed, establishing a foundation for conversation palpable. It serves to highlight sincerity in creating an even atmosphere, more authentic, even in the most basic interactions. This gesture carries an undeniable charm, a playful tug while crossing the street, a reassuring squeeze during a quiet moment, a lazy intertwining of fingers while watching a movie. Each instance holds meaning. It's these small everyday gestures that build the foundation of deeper connection and lasting compassion. Holding hands is a universal expression of affection, yet it is also a deeply personal one. No two handholds are exactly alike because no two connections are the identical. Some grips are soft and supple, while others are solid and interlocking. Some are fleeting. A quick touch of fingers before letting go, while some are lingering, unwilling to section each touch, conveys a story conveying feelings that words can't always express. Record the instances of separation between the hand's release might be as simple as important as the practice of keeping it. The fingers slowly unraveling the reluctant palm's departure, it all refers to the depth of the occasionally, even after letting go. The bond warmth is still an undetectable mark that persists for a long time following physical contact. Hence, it's simple to undervalue the impact of such a basic gesture, but when done honestly, it can leave an enduring parody in a world where love is frequently complex and relationships are full of unknowns. That hands are still among the purest and most natural ways to express your concern. I'd like to be near you, and occasionally all that has to be mentioned is that. At last, let's discuss the wrist. Among the most romantic and delicate parts of the female body, such as the inner wrist, is especially silky and delicate. Here, touch might arouse feelings of sexuality and intimacy. Picture this. You bring her, put your wrist near your mouth, and give that a gentle, loving kiss, delicate. This personal gesture establishes an instance that seems like a mutual secret between you. Charming and seduction is a delicate yet effective technique. To express your curiosity, and the secret to admiration is to maintain contact. Soft and ephemeral, as though transported by, there was a slight breeze that could be felt, but not overt enough to make an impression, as opposed to a never force a touch on someone. Invasive or coercive, it ought to be an invitation rather than a demand. Claiming her is not the intention. Space, but to build a link between one that whispers instead of shouts, one that implies instead of insists on using a gentle brush to greet her. IND can communicate against her wrist at kindness and consideration, establishing the tone for a relaxed and interesting engagement. This tiny gesture conveys chapters that recognize her existence, expresses gratitude and a feeling of familiarity, without going over borders, is a subliminal indication that says, "I see you, and I'm grateful," without the necessity of words, much as when saying farewell with a quick tap on the wrist can be simply as potent as it is. It leaves a feeling that persists long after you. Section methods that differ from a solid handshake or an embrace, a wrist touch that is overwhelming, faint, almost transient, like the final "a lovely melody's" chords fade into. The touch of the air is the type that causes someone to unconsciously play back the time in their thoughts, contemplating its significance and emotions associated with the wrist. Is a perfect location for interaction due to the delicate nature of intimate, but in a social. It is acceptable but not as daring as a touch. A face, or as far away as a touch on the skin of the shoulder, is delicate, enhancing the sensation of even the slightest touch more noticeable. Important, a light fingertip stroke can arouse curiosity with an eye hint. Intimacy, while maintaining respect for timing and intent, are important in personal space. Equally, as much as the actual touch, a thoughtful touch may bring coziness to a moment. During a period of illness or extreme, one may have the opposite outcome. Here, confidence is important. Not overconfident, but subtly confident. It makes the gesture seem natural. Instead of calculated, it ought to be simple, not practiced, as if it had just happened. Maintaining eye contact during the conversation can intensify this touch's impact. When the wrist is touched, with a brief moment of fixed attention, it strengthens the bond, creating the interaction seem more sincere and intimate. Grin can amplify the warmth of the gesture. To be sure, it appears as kind and genuine, instead of acting as and try to influence or regulate both cultural and individual. Some people's preferences also come into play. Feel more at ease being touched physically compared to others, and reading is crucial. Her body language, in the event that she answers favorably by grinning and bending in a little or continuing the conversation, then the objective of the touch has been fulfilled. If she withdraws or appears uncomfortable, it's vital to honor that limit and modify. Consequently, the beauty of a strategically positioned, the power of fleeting touch, is in its capacity to construct a moment that is both concrete and it's not about possession or ephemeral convincing, but about cultivating a feeling of bonding that seems natural and significant. The appropriate touch can make a simple hello makes you feel valued and fair. Feel good. A touch on the wrist that will never be forgotten when done properly, it's an art form. A gesture that expresses affection in silence, that conveys feelings that cannot be expressed, demands knowledge of the time context and emotional intelligence, neither of which is not haphazard or irresponsible, but rather purposeful but nuanced expression interest, without anticipation, in an environment where words are gestures that are frequently overused and occasionally underappreciated. This kind of touch can be a really effective tool for correspondence. It serves as a reminder that the deepest relationships can occasionally are created without the use of words. But by means of what is felt, being proficient with these touches isn't simply concerning touch. It's about fostering the development of emotional intimacy, trust, and demonstrating sincere concern for one another. Touch should be respectful, natural, and purposefully letting her feel treasured and linked to you. If this tutorial was useful to you, don't forget to sign up for Priceless Mind. For additional information on creating meaningful, click the thumbs up button if you have connections. You found this video entertaining and turned on the notification bell to ensure you don't miss anything on our most recent material.